Hey guys, I'm back again. So I have more stuff to report on. So I happened to come across a home that the owner was a hoarder at one time, and the people that have kind of taken over the estate have let me look through and find things to buy. So this was the finds for today. I'm going to be going back again probably several times and digging through boxes and seeing what I can find. So for everything here, and for these two items, or two piles, it was $150. So, there's a vintage ceramic Christmas tree. That should probably go for around $50. I found this to be really cool. This is from like 1927, I believe. And it's a CN Railroad Scenic Tour book. So, I had to save that. A lot of stuff was going to the garbage, and I just wanted to save as much as I could. But yeah, anytime there's vintage Christmas, or oh, here's another good find. This was just a pile of old baseball and hockey magazines from like the 50s. So I piled them in. We made a deal on everything, $150 for everything. And the graphics are just amazing. Like, this is from the golden years of baseball and hockey. I was hoping we'd find some, maybe we'll find some old baseball and hockey cards when I go back. But yeah, I'm gonna have to price out a lot of these and just list them on eBay. Maybe I'll just list them for auction lots. But also there was the Perrier clock mirror, and then there's an old Coca-Cola mirror. And I bought this because of the graphics on it. This is really 1930s Art Deco reference manual, what makes it tick, elementary information for automotive technicians. But I just thought that was really cool. It looked like an automotive service technician. This vintage Coca-Cola hat is probably from the mid 80s, and I'm gonna have to look it up because this could be one of the good ones. Unfortunately, it's not a 3-stripe, but it is still clearly 1980s. I'm gonna have to dust it off a little as well. And then these Star Trek coffee mugs from the 90s. And I believe, yeah, there's an Aladdin replacement oil lamp chimney. I just kind of picked that up because I thought it's good to save, and somebody's gonna be looking for one as a replacement, especially on eBay. Over here, we have a really cool vintage Christmas tree. And Santa and Mrs. Claus are gonna have to be glued back on there, but it'll play music and spin. So that is really cool. And then we got some vintage magazines. That music's gonna go on forever. So we got Eaton's, we got Sears 1987, Eaton's 1975. I'm gonna keep looking for these as we go. And the Baseball Almanac 1953, 54. So yeah, just some cool vintage stuff. And like I told them, like, a lot of the stuff that they're probably throwing out, I'm willing to buy. So they're gonna let me dig through a lot more and see what else we can find. But yeah, all of this was $150. So I'm gonna add that to the total, and we'll keep going. So that's all for now, guys. We'll talk. Okay guys, so I was just on a pick today, and it quickly turned into a clean out. So my payment was everything that you're going to see here, starting with this box. It's got an antique brass plate on it with an address, very original condition. So I'll take you back and show you everything that we got today for our pick, or for our work. So this is it. So basically what it was is I was helping a couple clean out their mother's garage, and I was finding things as we cleaned out, and I'd set them aside, and I wasn't sure if they were going to ask for money or not, but they ended up just saying, you know, for your payment, this is what you get. So I'll run you through everything that I picked up. A lot of stuff I just picked up just to save it from being thrown out. But yeah, we'll start over on this side. So there's these vintage Sega CD Sega Visions magazines. There was tons of magazines, but they were all like Good Housekeeping and stuff like that. I just grabbed a few of the ones that were like vintage consumer magazines. So like this one, Consumers Distributing. Some people like to see like the old stuff in it, like that you get back in the 90s. The old computers and telephones and stuff like that. Old Walkmans. Sega Genesis. There's an Eaton's winter. There's a bunch of Eaton's catalogs. I just picked up whatever ones I could find because people like to collect those and kind of look over them. This is for Jillian, for canning. Whole bunch of jars. So these two trays were just sitting on the shelf, and I believe it's club soda. And then these two unopened Quaker State motor oil cans were also on a shelf. Vintage Halloween tin. I believe I just grabbed that just because it was going to be thrown out. Antique or vintage Boy Scouts belt. Whole bunch of hockey cards. I'm going to have to go through and see if there's any old ones in there. It looked like they were all just like 1990s or later, so we'll have to see. There was this vintage Aladdin oil heater, brand new in the box, so that has not been opened at all, and it's still got the wrapping on it and everything. So that was a really good find. I think somebody during like hunting season is going to want to have that, especially because it's like a vintage one. They're like really well made. And then there's this vintage Coleman lantern. I always pick up Coleman lanterns whenever I find them. And just some old ephemera from learning music. And some old books. I just picked them up because they were still new, like somebody had ordered them and never opened them. And the old tin truck. And this is a sifting screen. I just really like the advertisement or the label on it. And then some vintage books, an old Canadian Tire sled, and I usually don't pick up sleds, but that one was really cool because it says Canadian Tire on it and it has like the green coloring. Like that's really good coloring, so I had to pick that up. What else we have here? Just a vintage hook. I thought that might go good in the house somewhere. Some vintage Christmas lighting. Vintage blocks, kind of like Lego, but it was sold at Sears, I guess. I just kind of picked that up because it was going to be thrown out. And there's a whole 2 boxes full of these, and they were from a plant that was since been changed names, but it used to be called Polysar in Sarnia. There's a whole 2 boxes of these lamps. Some are blue and some are red. And then this is the main thing. So this is a tall ladder, probably 9 feet. And it's likely from a library or a general store. But I had to pick this up. Like, you never come across ladders like this. And when you do, they're usually very expensive. So yeah, this ladder, I'm gonna have to call around to different people and see if I have a buyer for it. I do have a buyer in mind, but I don't know if they're going to be willing to pay what I'm going to be asking for it. But yeah, this was the pick, and everything here was free. Oh, and then there's this this vintage or antique crock, and it's got the really nice numbering on it. It's a bummer that it is kind of chipped there, but again, a lot of this just had to be saved from the garbage, so here we are. Comes to my backyard. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get some stuff listed and we'll see how much things go for. Oh, and then there's some vintage tiki lamps and poker chips. Yeah, that's it for now, guys. I'll give you some updates as things sell, and we'll talk. Okay guys, we're back again with another garage sale adventure. So here's what we found this morning. For everything here, we paid $90, and I'll run through everything that we found and hopefully we get some sales. So this was the first item. It's a vintage Crescent electric guitar. Nothing too special, but it was only $10, so I'll probably list for around $80. That was the first buy of the day. And the second buy was that CalPro vintage 1980s skateboard. And it seemed like it was in very good condition, so that was $5. So I think we'll do pretty well on them. We always seem to do very well on vintage skateboards. People like them, the old style. And next we have this Sony 330 camera. And I verified that it works, and we paid $20 for that. You can see the sticker there. And I'm hoping we'll get around 100 for that. It's got the lenses as well, which people really like to find. And next we have a set of 3 salt and pepper shakers, and I paid up for these. I paid $50 total, and we might get around $100, maybe possibly more for this set, but this set will probably go for $25. Vintage Santa Claus. This set will probably go for around $40. And then this set is a Holt Howard set from the 1950s, and it will go for around probably $60 to $80. But yeah, I did have to pay up for those 3 items, but they're small, they're easy to ship, and they always seem to sell, so I don't mind buying things that sell. We got one hanger that was free. We just collect old hangers, so anytime I find them, the wooden ones with the names on them, I just pick them up. We have one small snap-on wrench, and I always look for snap-on just because people on eBay, if they're missing a certain one, you know, it's good to grab them. I think this was like a quarter. We have a tiny bit of sterling. Let's see if I can open it up here. A little bit of sterling. This was like $3, but anytime I find sterling, I try to pick it up. And then we have some vintage comic books, and I'm not too sure. These were $2, so they're probably 1980s era, 60 cents. But I'm gonna look them up and see if there's any good ones. Again, just for the price, it's worth just picking them up. Like, I'm not really gonna try to argue about them. Yeah, for $2, can't really go too far wrong. And we got this vintage, or not vintage, I guess, this Tim Hortons Christmas ornament, and it was free. And then we have this Paragon teacup and saucer, and it was $2. So, to be honest, this teacup and saucer set might pay for everything, but I'll get everything listed and see how it does. Oh, and these were free as well. I just grabbed them because they're full and they're free. But yeah, that's about it for now, guys. So I'll try to show some sold listings or some pictures of listings, and we'll see how they do. Bye for now.